At Capella University, learning online doesn't mean learning alone. You'll get support from people who care about your success, like your enrollment specialist who gets to know you and the goals you'd like to achieve. You'll also get a designated academic coach who's with you throughout your entire program. Plus, career coaches are available to help you navigate your professional goals. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
I am so excited for this spa day. Candles lit, music on, hot tub warm and ready. And then my chronic hives come back. Again, in the middle of my spa day. What a wet blanket. Looks like another spell of itchy red skin. If you have chronic spontaneous urticaria or CSU, there is a different treatment option. Hives during my next spa day? Not if I can help it. Learn more at treatmyhives.com.
This is Optimal Living Daily, Why Creating More Kindness and Compassion Matters, by Dr. Jenny Brockis of drjennybrockis.com. And I'm Justin Malik, your very own personal narrator. I read the best blogs that I can get permission from to you, covering productivity, minimalism, personal development, all that fun stuff. So with that, let's get right to another post and start optimizing your life. Why Creating More Kindness and Compassion Matters, by Dr. Jenny Brockis of drjennybrockis.com. One day when I was 8, I went on a trip to a fun fair with one of my best friends and her parents. We had such a great day, but when it came to the large merry-go-round, my friend didn't want to go on that ride, so I clambered up on my own to sit astride a gaily painted horse and watch the world go round. When the ride came to a stop, I scrambled back down to the ground and quickly realized I couldn't find my friend or her parents. Wandering around like a lost sheep with tears streaming down my face, a lady came up to me and took me to the lost kids tent where another lady gave me a drink, a sweet biscuit, and a comic to read. Shortly after, my friend and her parents turned up, highly embarrassed because they thought they had time to duck off to the shooting range while I was on the ride, but when they returned, I had gone. A happy ending, but it was the kindness of strangers that made the biggest impact on me that day. Kindness. It's that time a friend buys you a concert ticket for your favorite band that you go to watch together. Or when as a junior doctor, your boss offers you the opportunity for the magical experience of delivering twins under his watchful eye. Or when a colleague notices you're not yourself and brings you coffee and a hug. These moments of kindness are what leave an indelible impression, a memory of awe, joy, or relief. They bind us more closely as humans. We feel more compassion, empathy, pride, and connection. The science of kindness. What makes us kind? Turns out kindness has a physiological basis. The vagal nerve is the longest of our cranial nerves that wanders from the brainstem to the muscles of our neck, enabling us to nod our head, orient our gaze, and vocalize. Moving south, it helps to regulate our breathing and heart rate and acts as a modulator between the brain and the gut so we can adapt to stressors in our environment. It's known to influence the immune system and regulate the level of inflammation in the body. Research by Keltner, author of The Power Paradox and Born to Be Good, has revealed how it is the strength of our vagal tone that determines empathy and compassion. A higher vagal tone calms the mind and promotes more positive and pro-social emotion via the impact on our oxytocin levels. This leads to what Keltner surmises to serve our greatest need, to connect, survive, and thrive. Meaning, we are hardwired to connect and care. Choosing to care. The one thing that makes it harder for us to have compassion for others, unless you're a sociopath, is when you're experiencing severe chronic stress, as time pressure, work overload, or worries. In this state of mind, you're operating in survival mode. It's not that you're a horrible person, well, at least I hope you're not, but when you're under relentless pressure, your bandwidth for caring becomes increasingly narrowed. It's time to stop always being in a rush. Back in 1973, in a social psychology study, a group of 67 seminary students were asked to prepare a sermon on the parable of the Good Samaritan. They were randomly assigned, unbeknownst to them, to be in a hurried state, an intermediate hurried state, or non-hurried state. The hurried group were advised that they were already late to deliver their sermon in another building, so they had better hurry up. The intermediate group were told that they are ready for you now, please make your way to the building. The control group were advised that there were a few minutes leeway, but they might as well go across now. Each student walked alone to their destination and on the way came across a man, a Confederate to the study, slumped in a doorway with his eyes closed and clearly distressed. So who would stop to help? Interestingly, in the hurried group, only 10% did, whereas 47% of the intermediate group and 63% of the unhurried group stopped to assist. How does this play out at work? If you're always under time pressure, the need to achieve your goals becomes the prime target. When there's less pressure, it's easy to spread your focus of attention to other things. Managing your cognitive load means taking back control of how you allocate your time and mental energy, because if you're rushing around putting out spot fires, you're no longer present to what's going on, and as a consequence, won't always be making the best decisions. What this study showed is how caring and compassion is more than just a personality trait, the other major variable being the amount of time pressure or stress a person is experiencing. Caring matters, because when you feel cared for and you care about other people, everything feels better. Relationships are strengthened, we're more trusting, more generous, and we'll take the time to stop and help someone in trouble, which is why creating a workplace environment founded on care creates a massive opportunity for increased contribution, collaboration, and working well together. Cultivating compassion and care. It's often the simplest of actions that have the greatest impact. Number 1, smile more. Number 2, slow your breathing rate. Exhaling slowly using deep diaphragmatic breathing for 1 to 3 complete breaths is instantly calming. Number 3, practice mindful breathing as a yoga practice or formal mindfulness meditation. Number 4, engage in healthy self-care habits with good nutrition, plant-based, fresh and unprocessed, regular exercise, increased physical activity, getting enough sleep, and keeping a gratitude journal. Number 5, spend more time outside. 120 minutes in the great outdoors is the minimum recommended for good mental health and well-being. Number 6, seek out opportunities to practice random acts of kindness. And number 7, keep things real by regularly switching off from your social media. What are you doing to slow down, to notice more, and share greater kindness? You just listened to the post titled, Why Creating More Kindness and Compassion Matters by Dr. Jenny Brockis of drjennybrockis.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by JCPenney. Yes, JCPenney. And if you've been there recently, you know it's the place to go for jaw-dropping looks at brag-worthy prices. They've got something special for every style and budget, not to mention rewards and deals that make finding those hidden gems even sweeter. If you already shop JCPenney, you're already in on the secret. But if not, it's time to ask. Wait, am I sleeping on JCPenney? Shop JCPenney.com. Yes, JCPenney.
Thank you to Dr. Jenny. The study she mentioned is really interesting. So something we've talked about on the show before is Parkinson's law. That's where the amount of time you give to something is how long you'll generally take to do that task. So if you assign yourself 1 hour to complete a task, it'll likely take that 1 hour. But if you only assign 30 minutes, well, you'll likely figure out a way to do it in 30 minutes. It's funny how that works. But it can be argued that assigning the 30 minutes to do that task will put us in a hurried state, which then, according to this study, puts us in a less likely state to be more compassionate. So where do we go from here? Well, sitting on this, I think being efficient and focused during our work time then creates the unhurried space for the rest of the day. I think it's not about having an empty schedule, more about being intentional with our work blocks so we can have a nice space between them. So maybe the trick isn't just to have more time, but to be more intentional with the time we give our tasks. I don't know, that's what I got out of it. Maybe something completely different for you. That's the fun of this podcast. And with that, thank you for being here for the fun and have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.